That's it. The music from my dream.
There are whole movements I wrote imagining us meeting again and again in different lives, in different ages.
I can't explain it, but I knew when I opened that door.
A powerful déjà vu ran through my bones. I heard it in a dream. I was in a nightmarish cafe, and the waitresses, they all had the same face.
Based on the best-selling novel by David Mitchell, Cloud Atlas explores how the actions and consequences of individual lives impact one another throughout the past, the present and the future. Action, mystery and romance weave dramatically through the story as one soul is shaped from a killer into a hero, and a single act of kindness ripples across centuries to inspire a revolution in the distant future. James D'Arcy stars in this time-hopping tale alongside a stellar cast which includes Tom Hanks, Halle Berry and Hugh Grant. On a recent trip to Dublin, I asked James how he got his head around such a complicated story.
Well, I had the benefit of reading the book by chance, so I knew vaguely what we were dealing with. They've changed the structure of the book for the film, which I think is a smart move. Also, you needed to have a key as to which actors were playing all the various different roles to make the script make any sense. When I got to the end of it, thought it was the most beautiful script I'd ever read. So obviously whatever comes next, I'm going to be slightly biased.
You mentioned there you're playing multiple characters throughout the movie, one of the being Rufus Sixsmith, and you actually play him like in two times of his life, young and at an older stage. Did you approach him as one character or as two separate characters? Because he's two kind of very different stories to tell in those times in his life.
I mean, I definitely think, obviously, it's one person, and that's the sort of joy of being the one person in the film who plays the same character in two stories. And there's certainly little hints, as the older Sixsmith, of this love affair that never quite resolved itself properly. And so that did inform how I played him older. And then as the younger man, I felt like he was full of hope and, so in love, so excited and so, desperate to be a part of this guy's life.
When you saw yourself made up as a 78-year-old man for the first time, did it scare you to see yourself that far ahead?
I went into a corner and quietly wept. It was a really deeply awful vision of the future because the makeup was so good. I mean, it was just so good, and I could see that I could look like that. I actually, people were very complimentary and said, "Oh no, you look terrific as an older man." But nonetheless, nobody wants to age that many years that quickly. Between you and me, I went out and bought a juicer and started doing yoga as a result of seeing the makeup on, because I thought, I've got to stave off the ravages of time. I can't allow this to happen.
So that's James D'Arcy's top beauty tip, then go out and buy a juicer.
Buy a juicer. But by the way, I just bought the juicer. I didn't really ever put anything in it.
Our lives are not our own. We are bound to others, past and present. And by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future.
Did it make you think, though, about the next 40 years of your life? I mean, the movie makes you think about big questions, love, relationships, why we're here, how we're all connected. And playing the part and also seeing yourself as an older person, did it make you think about your life?
I suppose when you're shooting the film, you're not so focused on what the whatever potential messages of that there might be in the overall movie. You're just sort of trying to be truthful in that moment. Although of course you're aware of it. It's only really when I saw it, and I had the same experience when I read the book. I really felt that everything that we do has some kind of effect, and we don't know if it's a large effect or a small effect, but it just sort of made me want to be very conscious of how I behave and how I treat people, and made me feel very present, I suppose.
Were you surprised by anything when you saw the movie yourself, when the completed version?
I was surprised at the end of the movie when I saw that Halle Berry had played a sort of old doctor with this crazy eyewear thing, and I did not realise that was her when I was watching it.
Hugh Grant surprised me when he was the tribesman. I had
Right,
no idea
right.
that was him. What about people who've seen the movie? I mean, because it's been out for a couple of months now. It's just coming to Ireland this week, but obviously you must have had some feedback over the past couple of months. What are people saying to you about the movie?
Well, it has a variety of reactions. The one that I enjoy the most is the people who come running up and say, I've seen the film 8 times and I'm going to see it again tomorrow. And I do think it is one of those films that bears a second or third look. I mean, I've seen it 3 times and I don't like watching anything that I'm in ever. So the fact that I've seen it 3 times, I feel like... And the third time I was watching it and there was some detail and I went, oh my God, I never saw that before. You know, there's a lot to be mined out of it if you enjoy it.
I believe there is another world waiting for us, a better world. And I'll be waiting for you there.
Finally, if you were to describe this to RTÉ Ten viewers, you tell them to go out and see this movie, how would you describe it to them?
Oh, I don't know if I could describe it. I think it's a unique experience and really, really worthwhile. And I would just say to people to, you know, just to relax and enjoy it. You don't have to try and figure it out. It resolves itself in the end, and it's just a crazy fun ride.
James Darcy, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you.